Have you ever had one of those moments where everything inside you feels tight? Of course you have, and so have I. Your chest feels heavy, your mind won't slow down, and one thought keeps looping over and over again. Maybe it's they don't care, or this always happens to me, or nothing's ever going to change. And in that moment, it feels true, not like an opinion, like a fact. You replay the conversation. You replay the look on their face over and over and over again. You replay what you should have said. You replay what they have said. The more you think the same insecure thoughts over and over again, the worse you feel. This happens to all of us and is a perfectly normal human experience. Nothing is wrong with you. What's happening is something every human experiences. But as you begin to notice what you're thinking and that you are the thinker, something powerful begins to shift. When we're upset or hurt or stressed, we're not seeing the whole picture. For me, I've noticed that I am believing a thought that is not true. Now, we don't do this on purpose. It's just how the mind works. When my low mood feelings are strong, I've noticed my thinking tends to get narrow. It's like looking at the world through a teeny tiny window. We see some things very clearly, but we miss a lot too. And the story we tell ourselves is built from what we can and can't see in that moment, not from the full truth. And often I've noticed that the story I'm telling myself is not true at all. Notice when you feel calm and peaceful. You're just enjoying the moment. You're hanging out with your family or you're working on some work that you enjoy, and you can come up with all kinds of ideas. Your creative thinking is flowing. You have more patience. You probably have more understanding for your situation and the people around you. Now think about a time when you're really upset. Everything feels urgent, really personal, like something big is happening. But if you slow it down for a second, nothing in your life has actually changed. The same people are here, same family, same work, same car in the driveway. So what has changed? Your state of mind. And when that shifted, the whole experience shifted with it. And this is an important distinction because when we believe our story during those moments, we think this is just the way it is, but it's not. It's just the way it looks right now. And that means it can change without you having to fix anything. Most people say they want things to change, but what they often mean is, I want them to change so I can feel better. We want someone to understand us. We want someone to behave differently. We want someone to finally get it. And when they don't, we feel upset. We feel stuck. We're angry. Here's a simple way to see what's happening. It's like sitting in a car with the parking brake on and pressing harder on the gas. The engine gets louder. The car doesn't move. And we think the problem is the road or the car. But the problem isn't the road and it's not the car. It's the brake. In relationships, that brake is the belief that peace depends on someone else changing. So what do? We push harder. We talk more. We explain more. We try again, and nothing changes. Waiting for someone else to change keeps us stuck in the same place. Not because they're wrong, not because we're wrong, but because peace doesn't come from outside of us. It comes from inside our own mind when the pressure eases. Change, even good change, can feel scary. Like letting go of an old story feels like stepping into the unknown. Even if the story hurts us, well, at least it feels familiar. So we keep pressing the gas. But when we see the break for what it is, the effort drops and movement becomes easier again. The car drives down the road just like it's supposed to. You don't have to push yourself to change. You just have to see how the story works. Then try something new and see for yourself. And when you do, change happens naturally. You'll see something new will come up. Now, let's slow down and take a look at kindness. This is where people often get confused. They think kindness is something you add, when really it shows up when something else falls away. When someone is hurting, especially someone we love, it feels kind to agree with them. Like we say, "You're right. Oh, that's unfair." Or, "Oh, they shouldn't have done that." And sometimes that comfort really is needed. But here's what often happens. When we agree with the story, we're quietly locking it into place. The feelings don't soften, they actually get stronger. For me, real kindness works a little differently. Real kindness isn't argumentative or trying to fix someone or something. It's not telling someone what to do. It gently creates space. Space between the person and the story that they're caught in. And it looks something like this: "I care about you too much to keep you stuck." And this matters for how we talk to ourselves as well. When we repeat the same painful story in our own mind, that's not kindness. That's just reinforcing the hurt. Kindness doesn't really mean believing every thought we have. It means more of letting our minds settle and quiet down and allowing our wisdom to show up. And it always shows up. Let's slow this down for a moment right now. And if you're willing, bring to mind something that's been bothering you. Not the whole situation, maybe just a small moment. Maybe that nasty comment from someone or a disappointment with something that someone did. Now, notice the story your mind tells you about it, what it means and why it matters to you, and what should happen next. You don't need to change the story or push it away. Just notice that it's a story. The story feels real because you are believing you're thinking about it. When your mind settles down and you're in a calmer place, the same situation can look completely different. Not better or worse, just different. So instead of asking yourself, "How do I fix this?" maybe ask yourself, "What happens if I stop pressing the gas? What happens if I let my mind settle before deciding anything?" And this isn't the same as giving up or quitting or giving in. It's giving yourself space. And in that space, clarity has a way of showing up on its own. It's not something you create, but it's a space where you can create and be creative. It's something you allow. And here's what I want you to remember is, you're not broken. You have innate well-being. You're not stuck in any story forever. And your story is not the truth. It's just a story you may have been telling yourself and believing for years. And when our thinking settles and clarity returns, when clarity returns, you'll get a sense of relief and peace. And from that place, change becomes possible. So it's not about forcing change. It's just natural. You don't need a new life. You don't need better answers. You just need to see what's already there, beneath the noise, beneath the story. And when you do, everything begins to feel lighter. Everything feels easier, more enjoyable, calmer, happier. So in this video, we looked at how stories in our mind shape how close or distant we feel from the people we love. And here's something that most people don't realize. Even when the story softens, connection can still quietly slip away. It doesn't slip away always from big fights or major problems, but often from small everyday habits that we don't even notice. In the next video, I want to show you how connection is often destroyed one small habit at a time without anyone meaning to do it. And more importantly, how simple presence can reverse that damage much faster than effort could.